How's it going, everybody? It's Sean here, and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Auralee New Balance 990 V4 in this London Fog or Taupe colorway. This is the second of two pairs of New Balance 990 V4s that Auralee collaborated with back last year. So these released in late 2024, but here in Canada, we didn't get the majority of our shipment until 2025. Either way though, this officially is the London Fog colorway, but it's commonly referred to as the Taupe colorway. But the official colorway for this shoe is London Fog, Turkish Coffee, and Blue Shadow. And the product code is U990AR4. So I already reviewed the Trooper or Blue colorway on my channel. So if you've watched that video already, this is pretty much gonna be exactly the same review. Obviously, of course, the difference being the change in color. So no hard feelings if you guys decide to skip this video because it's pretty repetitive watching them back to back. So this again is the London Fog colorway, and my initial thoughts when I got these in hand was that these actually look a lot more brown in person, whereas on the New Balance website, the product images for this shoe, it makes the upper look a lot more muted and a lot more gray. So it's not a good thing or a bad thing, it was just a little bit different than what I expected. So diving into the details of this made in USA shoe, on the toe box you can see this is covered in this beige colored mesh, and we have this reflective blue panel right on the edge of the toe box. Overlaid on top of the toe box, we have this brown colored synthetic perforated nubuck, and then surrounding the front toe cap, we have a very soft and buttery, dark beige, almost brown colored suede. This same suede covers the eyelets of the sneaker, whereas the top two eyelets, this is covered in this plastic or TPU layer. And then underneath this on the mid panel, we have more suede, and then stitched on top of this, we have this large New Balance N logo, which is completely reflective, constructed out of 3M. Moving downwards, we have a combination of mesh, synthetic nubuck, and suede, and then covering the heel of the sneaker, we have another suede layer, but this is a much darker brown, and we have 990 branding pressed on the lateral side. Beneath this, we have this TPU heel clip, which is done in this pale blue color, and this gives you structure and support along the back end of the sneaker. Above this, in the middle of the heel, we have more perforated synthetic nubuck, and it has New Balance branding on it. And then on the top of the heel, this is another reflective panel here, and it says made in the USA. As far as the laces go, so this pair comes with two different lace options. The standard lace and the one that I think looks best are these flat style white or off-white colored laces, but they also come with a khaki colored lace as well if you want to give the shoe a little bit more of a subtle and tonal look. Beneath this, we have this mesh tongue, and we have this synthetic nubuck layer on the top, which helps to loop the laces in place. And here you'll find 990 V4 branding along with this blue made in USA New Balance flag. So the back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is lined in this rough feeling nylon. And then for the insoles, these come with a pretty well padded foam insole. We have New Balance branding on one foot and Auralee branding pressed onto the heel of the left foot. So the upper of these 990 V4s, it sits atop this foam midsole, which is painted primarily in this khaki or dark beige color. We have this light blue hit. This is end cap technology, which is basically a dual density foam consisting of a softer core surrounded by a more supportive rim, which gives you cushioning and structure at the same time. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your typical 990 V4 outsole. And like always, we have these grooves on the forefoot to give you some added flexibility. We have this diamond shaped traction pattern on the forefoot, and in the middle, this shiny part, this acts like a shank plate, which helps with torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. For those wondering about how these fit, just like the other colorway, these fit like any other 990 V4, so I personally prefer to go a half size down from my true size. So I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 9.5, and they fit me really nicely in a slightly snug way. So to give you guys a point of comparison, I also wear a 9.5 or a half size down in other made in USA models like the 992, 993, 990 V3, V5, and V6, whereas I go true to size or a size 10 in a lot of the made in Asia and UK New Balance pairs like the 991, the 1500, 2002R, and the 860 V2. But I feel like if you have a narrow, normal, or even a slightly wide foot and you like more of an exact fit, you can go a half size down from, for example, your typical Nike size. But if you're someone that doesn't like a really snug fitting shoe, or if you have a really wide foot, then just stick with your normal true size. Next up, in terms of the comfort, so I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but the V4, in my opinion, is one of my favorites when it comes to comfort from New Balance. The thing I love most about this shoe is that it's a very well balanced sneaker in that it's not going to feel overly soft, it's not a super mushy feeling sneaker, but at the same time you can feel some of that squishiness and step-in comfort straight out of the box. At the same time though, the V4 gives you a lot of stability, especially underneath the heel. It really locks you in nicely. So for a very comfortable everyday sort of sneaker, this is one that I really recommend. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so again, just like the Trooper or Blue colorway, the materials on this shoe for the most part were really solid. It's a mix of genuine suedes and there are some synthetic materials on it. That's kind of typical with most New Balance made in USA shoes, but they work together really, really well. The suedes I thought were great. I had no complaints about that whatsoever. And the overall build of the shoe, it was okay. This pair specifically had a little bit more flaws that I noticed compared to the Blue colorway. For example, there were some blemishes on the New Balance N logo on the medial side. I don't know if you guys can see that. And there were also quite a few strings of glue, which is not really a deal breaker. That's something I can easily just pull off, but it's something I also noticed on this pair. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys got these, either this one or the other colorway. How was the overall quality control on your pairs? So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up for you and let's show you guys how these look. All in all, Auralee did an amazing job on these two colorways of the 990 V4. They are subtle, at the same time they're wearable, and they utilize great materials as well. So they're not going to be a shoe that's going to turn heads necessarily unless you're a true New Balance fan and someone really knows their stuff. But that's the beauty of this collab. It's more of a if you know, you know. I think both colorways are really, really amazing. If I had to choose one, I think I'm leaning more towards this London Fog colorway. I just like this brown upper a little bit more, whereas the Trooper colorway, don't get me wrong, it's amazing. It just kind of reminds me a little bit of the Levi's 990 V3, which I also have in my collection. Whereas this one, I don't really have anything like this. With the combination of this khaki or brown upper with these light blue hits, I think it really, really sets it apart. So I was really happy to add this one as well to my collection. So leave your thoughts down below. Let me know, what do you guys think about this collaboration? And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me as usual on my socials at esco8 on Instagram, sean.go_spoutout on X, and my website, seango.ca. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and hopefully it helped you in some way. I appreciate your continued love and support and for always watching my reviews, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.